Okay, that looks better. That looks better. Alright, this is the list. It's got a ton of 2-minute cards, but every single burn spell is pretty valuable in a format where the removal is just at a super premium, because a lot of people are just getting, playing a lot of creature-dense things. So we just try to stabilize with a Koth sitting there, plussing away. Try to win that way. And yep, that's it. That's all I've got. How much we want to bet our opponent's going to top deck an answer? Technically, he did not do that. Oh, they get a redraw. Oh, look, my opponent found an answer off the top. Yep, what a fun matchup. I'm glad I played this. Okay, maybe we can just stare at each other. Or my opponent just has the best card in the game. Yep. Out. Okay, I'm literally drawing nothing. This is unbelievably stupid. Okay. Yep. I can envision myself dead in 3 turns, so cool. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm wasting my time, and my opponent for some reason can't. Okay, wasting my time. Okay, well, because Koth didn't work in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to play the smoothest brain strategy, which is ramp into Etali and see what happens. We're just going to spin wheels. Atraxa, alright. This is the second time I've played against it. I haven't actually seen it a whole bunch. I have ramp spells, but they're not on turn 2, so I don't like this hand at all. Same with this one. Same with this one. Okay, let's get rid of you and you. Land is fine. This plot's on 3? Okay. So I can play Gwenna. Do I play Gwenna next turn? Right? Yeah, that makes sense to me. My opponent has to do something about all that. Demolition Field, that's kind of nonsensical, isn't it? In a 4-color deck. I don't see why you would ever play that. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I mean, it color fixes if you can blow up a land, but that's just extremely inefficient. I'm going to hide the red mana. No, I'm not going to hide the red mana. I'm not going to hide. There's not much to gain from doing that. So do they go White Source Sweeper? If they do, I think I just lose. If they don't, I don't know. You tell me. Cavernous Souls on Phyrexian. That is not a removal spell. That's interesting. That's weird. That's way too much colorless, in my opinion, for a Traxa deck, but no, they're making it work. Solemn and Shieldred. Well, I'm all in on creatures, which is not really a great place to be, but I do threaten to flip my Etali, so they have to do something. They have to deal with the board right now, and they don't have the colors in play to do that. That's GG. I just flip Etali and kill him. They only have a blue source. Yep, that's GG. Wow. Cleanest game ever. Okay, I have to pay life. Look at that. My opponent just ramped and then fizzled and died. Look at that. They just didn't deal with Etali and I won. Well, we won a game. We won our first game after not winning a single game with Koth. We might be favored in a matchup like this. Ooh, not with his hand, though. Okay, well, again, actually, I do have a 2 ramp. This is either a 2 or 4, so that's pretty solid. Command, play this. Alright, we kind of have the same exact thing happening here. And we're on the play, so they need, like, red interaction or something somewhat equivalent to that. Looks like there is, in fact, a interactive spell. An interactive spell, excuse me. I shall play Gwenna or Map the Frontier? If I play Map the Frontier, I go to 5. This... I'm going to play the thing that dodges death. I'm going to play the thing that can't get killed. I don't know. So now they have to kill the 2/2, or I cast Etali. Yeah, this is probably better. Because, again, they are a red deck. They can kill the Gwenna. But casting Gwenna there would have been viable, I guess. I don't know. This makes about the same amount of sense to me. Clifftop Lookout. I'm not running that card. It is on 3, though, so it's an awkward mana spot. A little bit. It's fine, though. Okay, well, I got Fetch Quest, and I got this thing. That's disgusting. Okay, Drakuseth. Hello. Okay, well, I think I just won this game. I don't know if casting Roxanne gets you anywhere. Opponent's going to play it out. They kill my 2/2, and then they just die. So they're going to need something else. I've never actually attacked with a Drakuseth. What are you doing, opponent? Stop looking at it. Okay. Still didn't get to swing with it, but I'll consider that an attack, because I was going to kill my opponent with it. Cool. That's probably the most my opponent has ever actually hit someone with Nashi. By, like, a landslide. That's funny. Probably, I don't know. Ugh. Man, Gwenna really, really likes us. But you know what doesn't like us? Llanowar Elves. You know how many games we've had Llanowar Elves? 0. That is not what we're after. That's just straight up Krenko. Are there enough goblins for Krenko to be a deck? Oh wow, I actually drew it. A little too late now, isn't it? Yep. I found it, Twiz. I found it. Wait, what does this do when it dies? Whenever... Alright, my opponent went to their hand, so I'm going to let this just go through. I'm not running into a combat trick. So... Okay, well, I'm kind of eating really well right now. Triple Mana Dork is kind of nuts against a deck that probably wants to play goblins and not any burn spells. This appears to be correct. Yep, the Weeb card is here. And you can't convince me to block. Out of your mind. Opponent's probably upset that I'm not blocking. It's funny. Alright, Etali. What's on the menu? Archdruid's Charm and random 1/2. I will use it to kill this thing. Because I don't really need to search for anything. What? Okay, well that didn't do anything. You got it. Well, mono red, there are no combat tricks that are remotely viable, so opponent is probably screwed. I'm not going to swing with this because I just win when I flip Etali. I don't have to, like, poke my opponent for a little damage. There's just, like, no reason to do that. We can swing with 16. Yeah, alright. Yeah, this game was over when they didn't kill me fast enough. Maybe just pour one out for Krenko. We'll pour one out for Krenko. We'll pour it out for Krenko. There you go. We now have the Krenko one. Actually, if it wasn't for Magic the Gathering, I probably... Who knows how much I'd read in life. Shoot. Let's play... this one? Wait, what is this? You get a Brainstorm, and then you cast the top card for free when this dies. So you, like, Brainstorm and then sack it. Yeah, haste is nice. Son of Chad. Didn't I play against that person? Yeah, I did. I played against someone called Son of Chad. That's the person Twiz gifted a sub to. That's funny. I don't think I need more red. Double red is good, right? I mean, it's really the only... I took out the triple red card, so... My opponent now must leave out counter spells or lose the game. Oh, they could kill my thingy. Okay. Sure. Hull Creepers all over the place. Kind of a cool card. Alright, good luck to you. Well, I probably just win now. We'll see. Breach can probably just solo my opponent. Malcolm's kind of lame, but I don't think anything matters at all. That's just so stupid. But in all fairness, they could have had a counterspell. It was certainly possible. It was certainly possible. They just didn't have it. Surprised my opponent didn't concede. Do they have River's Rebuke? Like, what's going on here? Does my opponent have River's Rebuke? I wonder. I'm going to get rid of this land, and I guess I'll play this even in the face of a River's Rebuke or something. Let's get rid of random thing that I don't want to play against that my opponent might pick up. I could have actually swung with this. Yeah, I could have put them to 3 and then, yeah, I could have swung with that. There's no 0-mana card that sacks this, so they're just dead on board, right? They can't sacrifice this. And obviously I'm not going to kill it with my thing and then get hit by random free spell, so... I mean, good on my opponent. If I did kill this, right? If I did kill it and they had something on the top that was really bad for me to see. We did it. Oh my goodness. There was no cut down either. Yeah, I can't read, so I couldn't confirm the name. There's no cut down. There was no 2-mana removal spell. Oh, wow. I'm doing it. It's happening. It's actually happening. Llanowar Elves solo. World first. Sure. Yep. Don't care. That's fine. Llanowar Elves. Let's play... Ooh, what do we do now? I guess double 2, because we want to always exploit our mana because it's in play, so... Good luck to you. If I draw a land, I win the game. If I don't, what do I do? Probably these two. It's mono black. Oh, no, it's not mono black. It's got red in it. What do you have to do for this? Sacrifice creature. Oh no, my thing. So, do I cast the worm if I have the mana? Still think I like these two, or at least this one. Ramping is probably just better than not ramping. This is 5 mana to ramp. And this is 4, so we'll probably just be more mana efficient this way. And I could probably go for another red source. I don't need more green. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. Man, that card is so satisfying. Weeb card turn 1, and it lived. It's still alive. It's still alive. It's actually still alive. Innocuous Rat. Alright, so they have their 2 creatures, right? You sacrifice... Wait, this is the wrong Rakdos. Never mind. I thought it was the other one. The one that wants, like, creatures to sack, and then you cheat out a free creature. That's not what this is. Okay. What do we got? Oh, cool. We win the game. Look at that. Hose my opponent's board, and they also now need to deal with Portal for the rest of the game, so they have to have a Braid or something. How many removal spells did they cast? Just 1? I thought it was 2. It was 2. Yeah, okay. They had two sources of interaction, but the problem is Etali's just so good at not caring about that. Alright, my opponent has some compensation. Probably not enough, but it is compensation. This card could be good here, right? I can see my opponent turning this around. I kind of hope they turn this around. It'd be kind of exciting to see someone, like, fight back. Actually fight back against me not having to think. Just cast a glowy card. Okay, okay, there we go. Now it has to do something right now, or you are screwed, because I flip Etali. Oh no, it's only 9. It's only 9. They found a braid! They found it. No way. Okay, alright. Opponent's doing it. They're doing it. Yes. Oh, this is great. Okay, so let's play. We're not gonna make it easy for him though. We're still gonna make it an uphill battle. So can I play this and still play the worm? I can, and I will play it pre-combat. So Etali gets a bunch of counters. They'll just take it, I'm sure. So Etali is a 14/14 trample. It is super giga lethal when I flip it now. That I don't think cuts it either. So Kaimil has to do some nonsense. Oh, oh! Nope, that's not it. Tragic. Dang it. Dang it. Now I'm sad. They had a good run though. They tried. They did try. You have to block more than that. Yep. That is still not enough. You have to block one more. Yes, there you go. And it doesn't have infect or poison or whatever, so it's not like the creatures that get hit get -1 counters. It has like weird versions of it. Yep. Combat is assigned differently now in Magic. If anyone was curious what that looked like. You assign combat damage differently. Wait, why did it still kill them? They sacrificed a blocker, so this would be indestructible. They had to sacrifice the 2/2 to not die. Oh, it was a Vein Ripper. Really? It was a Vein Ripper? Wait, was I dead if they got another turn? That's why they didn't want to block with it. It was a Vein Ripper. Let's do that. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay. Gonna dodge the old removal spell. Play Invasion next turn. As is tradition. Have 0 respect for any counter magic, because it probably doesn't matter in the long run? I don't know. Oh, they don't have it. Alright, rip. Okay, so if I have an untapped land, I just go right into Etali, which is completely disgusting. But they probably have a way to deal with that, so I'm gonna... Oh, maybe not. Oh, looks like they don't. Cool. I discard a card. If I lost life, okay. None of my hand is relevant, so it doesn't really matter. I did not find the land, but I did find a very good card anyways. I did find a good card. I probably could have played Commercial District, but playing it on the Etali turn is good too. I can maybe manipulate the top. And Vorinclex is an existing threat my opponent also has to deal with, because I can flip that too. Right? It's 8 mana. Yeah, I can flip that actually. So they have to do 2 things. That is the first thing. I can play around a soft counter, and I probably should. Alright, again, they just don't have any counter spells. At least they're not trying to fake it then. Probably a viable option. Alright, that's just a good hit off of Etali, so I'll just keep that. And a Signet. Not too exciting. But alas, I still have good stuff, so... I can do this at sorcery speed, right? No, I can do it whenever I want. So now Etali leaves behind a giant token if they kill it, and I can simply recast it. This is the removal spell I like. I think it might be my least favorite removal spell right now. in Standard, just because there's actually a lot of outlaws. In fact, everything my opponent's played except this horror is actually an outlaw. Oh no! This doesn't work! This doesn't work! Oh no, I had the exile opponent. Oh no. Good thing I saw that. Honestly, maybe I didn't. Maybe it didn't matter. Maybe it really didn't matter. But that is funny. That is funny. Alright, basket my 14-7. If they swing all out, they are dead. Opponent swings all out, so unless they have another thing to do, this is 11 poison, and they have 1 toughness and blockers. So you're going to need something right now. Looks like they have it. Looks like they have it. What do we got? You're going to need to do it. You can't not do it. Okay. Because they did what they did, I'm going to not flip. I'm not flipping. They should not kill it. They should just let it sit there. Okay, that works. That's a way to deal with it. That's a way to deal with it. I can respect that. So now I have, like, nothing. Let's play this. Yeah, I don't have anything going on. The last game we lost was to, like, tempo random stuff, so I could have just flipped it for the sake of flipping it, but my opponent's going to shuffle it away anyways. There's no reason to actually do that. That up to 1 target creature can't attack or block, so Kaito shuts down Etali. That's a way of doing it. Okay, they chose not to do that. Okay. Sure. Do I keep the Outcast, or do I just block it? Block with it. I probably just block with it, right? I kind of want to do that, so I'm going to do that. We're going to just block here. Call it a day. Arcane Proxy is a good thing for this to copy and... Oh, no, it's not. It's an ETB. Never mind. It's not a good thing to copy. I shall shift enter with my 8/8 token. Opponent picks up the Spyglass to get another treasure. I mean map token. So we can sort of get tempoed out by these like hard to block things. This does not give trample, right? Nope. I was about to say, I have a lot of like really good draws though. Let's get rid of this thing so they can't drown. Actually, I really should get rid of the unblockable creature. No, I need to get rid of this thing so Etali can play Magic. Probably a good draw, also not the most exciting draw. Alright, we're gonna go after this thing, like this. Oh, I should have played this pre-combat. Okay, I'm an idiot. Fortunately, it doesn't really matter. Like, it really doesn't matter how big these things are. It's all just massive threats, but I absolutely should have sequenced that differently. Okay. They have 1 unblockable creature. Actually, both of them are unblockable. I only have 1 blocker. Okay. I don't think they want to pick that up. Wow, they do. Okay. So that was a really good draw. I think I'm interested in trying to kill Kaito first before I go to play this. Okay. Sure. I draw a card this way, right? Do I... No, a 7/7's good enough. I don't have to make a 14/14. There's no reason to do that. It's just... use our... Because there's a good chance I might find a second spell or something. Alright, the tokens are very good. My opponent's tapped out, so this is safe to just cast. I gained 3 life with this too, right? Okay, that was a good draw as well. Do I cast it? Or do I... Oh, man, of course I cast it. Name Dinosaur. I actually have 2... Oh, it triggers immediately! It triggers immediately. Ooh, oh. Dinosaur Tribal. Let's go. Nice. That was really, really good. My opponent went from, like, about to win to now probably not winning. I don't even lose to River's Rebuke. That was, yeah, that was so gross. The Nexus tokens are really, really useful, too. And it probably feels bad for my opponent to deal with the Roaming Throne, but they kind of have to. Which is, again, another really good... They didn't even plus there. They literally didn't plus. Have they chose all 3 of these yet? They have. It doesn't do anything. It's just a 3/3. They could just return it, yeah, now that it doesn't have any text on it. But again, that's just less damage. No more unblockable 3 damage a turn, right? Or for a while. I was kind of offsetting that like a madman anyways. They can make me discard a card. They probably should. They probably should. It doesn't matter which one they take. It really doesn't matter which one they take. Both are just, like, this is probably the right one, because I can choose the creature I take, and I have options. Whereas O'Hare just leaves me with a single line, and they're right. They do the right thing, in my opinion. Alright, no Voltburn Tyrant death in response, which means Etali leaning towards a must-answer threat. That was a phenomenal draw. I'm not going to flip Etali. Oh, wait, this... Yeah, there we go. Get schmeeded. I was about to say, that draws cards because of the Voltborn. I forgot. It actually has the Voltborn trigger as well because it's big enough. Wow. Very hard to see that. Alright, it's another mono red deck, except it's Squee instead of Cranko. I think it's got about the same chances. Probably plays about the same cards. I mean, it is standard. Well, we're going to do our old 2 into 4. If it doesn't work, we did find a 3 into 5. Opponent, like, needs a burn spell, which means they can't cast a creature. Oh, okay. That's a pretty good one. It's not Cranko, though. My opponent's not playing Cranko. So they can't make, like, a bajillion things. And I have 6 mana next turn, so we just, start playing the trumpet. I don't care about 2 damage from their commander coming into play. In fact, I'll probably just block it with the Solemn Simulacrum. The Solemn Golem. Chainsaw. Alright. I feel like I would have just played Squee instead, but this certainly works too. Oh, look at that. I see. Alright, that makes more sense. Now what they've done makes more sense. You can see the misery that, like, Mono Red has to compete with here. Like, now you're not pressuring me, because if you do, you start losing to things that outscale you. I can probably swing here, but that's not what the game's about. My opponent probably just concede at 25 life at some point in this game. Unless I just ignore this for too long. But I don't think they're going to put in 24 creatures. That would be nuts. That would certainly be nuts. As if I'm going to let you get a free 3 damage spell on this O'Hare. Out of your mind. Out of your mind. So I'll play this before combat? Probably. Does that matter? Yeah, we're going to pre-combat this. There's a few things that are really good, so. Oh, that's not one of them. We got the Weeb. Look at that. We'll take it, though. Opponent's got Trample. It doesn't work. Oh, no. I mean, it sort of works, but it doesn't work all the way. Cool. That was pretty good. Lets me cast this. That was actually really good. Wait, no, I can't, because it's in combat. Oh, mana in combat. Tragic. What is this? That's just a goblin. It's just a random goblin. Oh no, opponent. I don't think we're playing the same format. Do you just like suicide swing squee? What do you even do here? I will block now, because I really don't care if they have a 3 damage spell. I just like really don't care at this point. It doesn't matter. I don't think I would trade the Outcast with this, though. Oh, it's really sending it. They're really sending it. I like it. Okay, I got not really much of anything, but I'll kill this Horde Master. Yep, see, it just didn't matter. It didn't matter. I didn't have to do any damage to my opponent. Okay, I'm done. I think I've played every possible... Yeah, I think we've played every permutation Etali could possibly do. It's just good. It's probably better here than it is in Historic, because there's a lot... Like, your deck can be a little bit more consistent, and your opponent's decks are a bit more consistent as well, because it's 60 cards instead of 100. So you have a lower chance of hitting things like Dark Ritual that you would rather not hit, or something random like, I don't know, Opt, you know. So your hits are probably better. In fact, there's not really... There's not even that many bad hits. Etali with 100 cards there are, but here not really. Even like a fair amount of the ramp spells, they're okay, because again, if this dies, it just lets you recast it. And if it doesn't die, it helps you flip it if you get a ramp spell. Now that was true in Historic as well, but here it's like, again, you have such a high chance of hitting very good things. My weakest Etali, I don't think ever cost me a game. I don't think. No, there was one game. It was against the Calyx opponent. I had a weak Etali trigger. I didn't hit anything too spicy, and that sort of cost me the game. So that did happen once. But for the most part, I never really whiffed on Etali, right? So the quote-unquote expected outcome of hitting ramp spell and some random removal spell against a matchup where it actually matters, right? If you're playing against a deck where it doesn't matter what you're playing against, because you're just playing Etali and winning, then whatever you hit isn't as relevant, right? So if it's like a creature deck and you're just freely flipping Etali, it doesn't really matter what your opponent's doing. So it doesn't really matter what you're stealing. But in decks where it does matter that you want to steal a good card, a lot of those decks have very few misses, right? Because they could have a ton of removal. Removal-heavy decks could be a bit of an issue for us, but for the most part, they actually weren't. But let's just say they were, like, the weakest thing I could bump into in terms of how good I am. It is the strongest things I can play against. Saying things backwards. I'm dyslexic. I don't know. What's the vocal version of dyslexia? That's the one I have. It's against its strongest opponents, your hits are very good. Even random removal spells, killing whatever your opponent's got going on is just so good, right? Everything is great. I never got Halana to give my commander haste. I don't even think that's relevant, but Halana's also good with this worm. So there's more reasons. I was thinking about taking this out a few times, but there's a few. Dystokia? Yeah, I have Dystokia, sure. I like it. Smuggler's Surprise never came up. Actually, one of the very few cards in my deck that I think are really, really is a really bad hit. And there's not a lot of those. This is so bad, I might not even want to put it in this deck. It's kind of the only card in my deck that doesn't really do anything at all when you cast it. So because of that, you could simply remove it. Oh, same with this one. You could take this out. The spree cards are terrible with free spells off the top. Yeah, they're just really, really bad. If it was like Discover 25 or something, so you could like put the card to your hand, although it would have to now change. It would have to add that text because you can't discover your opponent's deck. Putting cards from your opponent's deck into your hand is illegal. But if you want a strategy that wins basically every single game, I would just play this. It, again, doesn't really have many weaknesses at all, and it also... oh, right, that's it. There doesn't seem to be a bracket system. So you're playing against every possible commander, which means you'll bump into really good ones, you'll bump into the mirror, and you'll bump into all of the other things ever. And I kind of like that. It's kind of like the Wild West, sort of. I don't mind that. In fact, some of the strategies that you would think don't stand a chance did beat me. It was like blue-black tempo bouncy things did actually get there. I mean, it only got there once. The other times I played against it, it did not. But it was kind of cool to see it actually, beat me. That was neat. But for the most part, there's no bracket, it seems. And if there is one, I can't seem to figure out what it is. So Atraxa is not a bad matchup. I'll say that too. At least it wasn't every time I played against it. And for Koth, if anyone was curious, we played Koth for quite a while, and it never won a single game, including the mirror. So it was just loss after loss. And then the first game I played against Etali was an instant win, and barely lost with it. So as long as you're playing a serious commander, I guess it's pretty good. I wish Koth was good. Mono Red did trample me once. I think it was the first day I played this format, and then it never, ever did it again. So maybe that person just had a really good draw, or I don't know, but it seems like Mono Red is borderline impossible. I've seen a lot of Goblin strategies, like Squee and Krenko in the command zone, and both of them kind of play the same deck for the most part, and I'm not really threatened by either of them. In fact, the rest of the meta, right, the rest of the format kind of keeps that in line because there's so many board wipes, so many removal spells that you're going to bump into that kind of thing less because other people are just shutting that strategy down for you, right? In what that's how the meta works, right? So, the creature decks are weak because of these other decks, so now I might play against those things less, even though I'm not playing the reason creatures are kind of weak, and that just kind of makes this a bit stronger because it's an ETB. It has an actual thing that it does, and you don't have to worry about it living for a turn cycle. Any commander that has to actually survive is just so much weaker than things that do not have to survive to do something, and that is just completely massive. So let me know what you thought about this strategy in Standard Brawl. I mean, I kind of already... I can get a healthy gauge of every opinion on this. It's not hard to gauge everyone's opinion on Etali. It's just really, really good. So, like, comment, subscribe anyways. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for dealing with my rambles that are sometimes incoherent because I can't get words out. That's the price I pay for talking for, like, 2.5 hours here and then another 3 hours of Silent Hill. I just talk. I'm losing my voice. Words are coming in backwards. Dishing out of my mouth sideways. I'm rambling right now. I'm doing it still. Oh my goodness.